Good afternoon, evening, kind of right on the cusp. Welcome back, everyone. Hope you're doing well, having a fantastic day out there. Thank you so much for joining me as we dive into a little bit of Donald Fagen. We're going to listen to this track, The Night Belongs to Mona. This is off the album, interestingly named Morph the Cat. Is this like Transform the Cat, or is Morph the cat's name? Do not know. Could be short for Morpheus. We're listening to this track because it was suggested and sponsored by Zach. Zach, thank you so much for the request. Truly appreciate that. Honestly, I have no intro. I have nothing necessary to say except let's go ahead and dive straight on in. Unfortunately, Donald Fagen does block the music, so you'll have to watch this for free over on Patreon for the full reaction and all the music included, but on YouTube it will be removed. So just as a precursor, just to let you know before we go any further. And now further we must go. Let's go ahead and dive on in. We'll discuss it a little bit after. There we go. Oh, my volume's a little loud. Sorry.
Spinning, AC humming. We get the motion when she rises, 'cause the starlight.
It's a sleek, jazzy pop song, of course, no different from what we've heard of Steely Dan and Donald Fagen's solo material that we've covered here on the channel. But what, of course, it gets across is something darker beneath, such a beautiful, glossy exterior of some fun, jazzy pop, right? So lyrically, there's something about Mona. There's something underneath there, right? And with a lot of Donald Fagen and Steely Dan, with a lot of their music, their themes, their lyrics, there's something seedier typically beneath the lyrics that they're saying. They have this kind of urban romanticism, but there's something of a decay underneath it as well. So I like how they capture that in a lot of their music, and I think that this track is one that also is kind of in that vein. I have a feeling, an idea of perhaps what's happened to Mona, but we'll have to kind of dive into it a little bit more and kind of see for ourselves. Musically, this is a track that has a lot of dense instrumentation, and if I pull up the actual Wikipedia page, let me get that up here real quick. There's a lot of people who are involved in the making of this album as a whole. And I think that you get within this singular track a bit of that density in which there's always something happening, whether it's in the background, a lead, saxophone, the drums, the bass line, which just walks in the beginning, and then there's a lot to travel a little bit more as the song goes on. I love the chorus and just that solitary kick driving the beats, and then Fagen singing. There's something about the way he sings, those lines in the chorus that has a little bit of a cool delivery there that kind of jolts into the music there for the rhythm that's so calm at that moment, but then his delivery has a little bit of a energy to it, which I think is really cool. On this track, I thought the harmonica rather was kind of a standout. That's going to be Howard Levy handling the harmonica here, and I really like how it came out, along with the horns and the sax and stuff. But there was something about the way the harmonica came in around it that kind of, no pun intended, blew the competition away, so to speak. Guitar is feeling nice in here. Like, everything moves in the way that I would expect from the band. It has a certain cleanliness to it, and that's what I mean, which I think is kind of cool, how that sleekness, that romanticism comes through beautifully in the music, but then lyrically there's a little bit something else going on in there. Let's kind of dive into those lyrics and see what that could be. Mona's become a child of the night. When she goes out, it's only for bare necessities. She says she's had it up to here with light. While the city sleeps, that's when she comes alive. Yes, the night belongs to Mona when she's dancing all alone. 40 floors above the city, CDs spinning. I love this. AC humming, feeling pretty. Sometimes she'll call at some unholy hour. She wants to talk all of this grim and funny stuff. Then she'll go all quiet in her Chelsea tower. And that's when we wait to see how the story ends. Because the night belongs to Mona when she's dancing alone. Was it the fire downtown that turned her world around? Was it some guy or lots of different things? We all wonder where she's gone, that sunny girl we used to know. Of course, this is very much opposite of, how she is now become a child of the night. Now every night we get the Mona show. Maybe it's good that she's above it all. Things don't seem as dark when you're already dressed in black. We try not to see the writing on the wall. What happens tomorrow? I feel like she's died. That's the ending that I get from this. The question I have is perhaps how? I feel like there's perhaps a depression, there's a trauma that she's experienced, hence why, was it the fire downtown? What could that mean? Who knows? But something traumatic possibly happened that they think possibly turned her world around. Or was it some guy? Something happened to her and it's changed her. And they know, as they say, the writing is on the wall. They know what's going to happen. They just don't know when. When the moon rays get so bright, when she rises toward the starlight, miles above the city's heat, maybe she's jumped from the top of the building. Will she fall hard or float softly to the street? That has to be it then. She's risen up to the top of the building, 40 floors above the city. She's playing her music. Maybe this is where she lives, but she's just taking one extra step up to the rooftop, and now she's taken a fall. When the moon rays get so bright and she rises toward the starlight, miles above, will she float or will she fall hard? 40 floors above the city. CD spinning, AC humming, feeling pretty. She could have been at the top of the rooftop and hearing the AC units on top of the roof, and that's kind of the background or part of the background to her final moments in life. And perhaps she has a CD spinning and she has her headphones in, and that's her soundtrack for her death. And this is such a great and kind of hard-hitting line. Things don't seem as dark when you're already dressed in black. It's like she's already dressed in preparation for her funeral. Really great lyrics. And I think that, once again, the way that the music kind of contrasts with the lyrics here is one of the great things about the band, besides the obvious great things about the band and the music aspect. But I think that they are a little bit underrated sometimes when it comes to some of their lyrics. Not all the time, but sometimes, like here with Fagen, he gets it quite right in a really cool way. You let me know what you thought of the track in the comments down below. Zach, thank you so much once again for the request. I truly appreciate that. I hope that you guys are having a nice day out there. As always, thank you so much for being here, spending a little time with me, and I hope you spend a little bit more, maybe tomorrow, maybe later, just sometime coming up soon. Have a fantastic one, guys, and I will see you all later. Bye.